Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We got some great news to share today. Uh, so appreciate you jumping back on the channel. We are going to dive into the world of cryptocurrency and the new financial system on this channel. Uh, Explore the latest trends, tips, possibly strategies to navigate the digital revolution. So whether you're a seasoned crypto enthusiast or just starting out, we got you covered. So let's dive right in and see what's happening today. So first off, Fruition Productions has announced this November will be conducting a set of limited premiere screenings prior to launching on streaming platforms. Members of the cast and crew will be in attendance at these special one-night only events. If you know a theater owner, contact us. We want to support, they say. So great to see Fruition Productions getting ready to launch here. Let me get back to that. Apologies. Launch this production on XRP and the history of XRP. Pretty cool. It says tickets will go on sale in October. There'll be screenings in Los Angeles, Phoenix, Houston, Atlanta, DC, New York, and Boston. So I don't know who is going to be there. I do know DPMG was part of this. Coach JV, Zach Rector was a part of this. So some, pretty cool YouTube influencers are a part of this. Again, I'm not sure exactly who's going to be at the screenings, but nonetheless, good to see that this production is finally going to be coming out. Moving on, Egg Rag Crypto, talks about an XRP half pump could lead to $27. The Fib channel is an amazing leading indicator. XRP experiences half of its 2017 pump. It could reach the 0.618 Fibonacci level. This puts the target around $27. So again, this is not financial advice. Do your own research. But good to see these chart guys doing their thing, and Egg Rag Crypto. I cannot say his name, is I know one of the better ones. So they're looking at the charts all the time and making their estimations, their assumptions. But of course, do your own research before you invest. Eleanor Tourette stops in and touches on Custodian Bank is laying off employees as Biden admins crypto crackdown weighs on digital assets industry. So Custodian Bank, unfortunately, is going to be laying off some people, and this is due in part to Operation Choke Point 2.0 being led by Gary Gensler, Elizabeth Warren, and their crew. And it's unfortunate for Custodia Bank because this woman is trying to do great things in banking and give us, other options out there. And hopefully that will happen at some point in the future. Moving on, Smoke Dog here gives us a video. I'm going to play this for you guys. He says a detailed breakdown from Ripple on how banks can utilize crypto exchanges for XRP based transactions without needing a direct relationship with Ripple. Instead, third-party service providers and crypto exchange partners partnered with Ripple create the network facility to use XRP for financial transactions. So I am going to play this video here for you. And it is sped up a bit, just so you know. So keep a listen here and let me know your thoughts on this video in the
work. So there's a small money service business called Qualix, based in Texas, and they serve Mexican workers that are sending funds back home to their family in Mexico. So what happens is we have relationships that we've helped coordinate with exchanges on both sides of that transaction. So the U.S. it's Bitstamp, and in Mexico it's Bitso, both digital asset exchanges. So they're setting the rates. So in some ways it alleviates the need for Qualix, the financial institution in this case, to even hold XRP. They simply go, the risk is then absorbed by the digital exchange. That's their business, right? They're making markets, they know exchange rates, and there's a fee involved with that. But they will give, or they may have a US dollar account at Bitstamp. They'll say, hey, Bitstamp, send $1,000 worth of pesos to this account in Mexico. Bitstamp converts the spot rate. It moves over the XRP ledger in 8 seconds. It gets converted by Bitso on the other end into peso at the spot rate, and then goes out on local rails to the ultimate bank account of the recipient. All of that takes, because there's bank processes on either end that we can't fully control, it takes about 10 minutes, which used to be 3 days. And we've been told that the overall rate that they're seeing is 20 some odd basis points less than they would have seen otherwise, even taking into account FX fluctuations, et cetera, et cetera.
So again, just focusing on a few things that gentleman said, the biggest one that I took away from it is, some of these transactions normally take 3 days, and it's going to take about 10 minutes with XRP. So obviously huge efficiencies coming out of that, and that would include saving a lot of money too. So great stuff there from Smoke Dog. Moving on to a post here shared by Jungle Incorporated Crypto News. He says, Ripple court case over, ? He says Mikkel had the best explanation I've heard on why the SEC would not appeal in his live stream today. So again, let's take a listen here and see what Mikkel Markets has to say. But again, let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Jungle, what I think is going to happen is the SEC is going to kind of pivot. I think the SEC is going to be going after secondary market trading of the tokens and trying to hold this exchanges liable for trading the underlying crypto assets, and then essentially conceding on the fact that the tokens themselves aren't securities. Because Ripple isn't directly involved in trading in the secondary market, I don't believe the SEC, it really makes sense for the SEC to be pursuing Ripple in comparison to players like Coinbase or Binance. I think what the SEC is going to try to do is call the exchanges, the exchange transaction securities, and then kind of get a quasi ruling that way of having power over the exchanges, even if they don't have power over the assets. And I believe this makes the most sense because, like, the exchanges have to be regulated under someone, and I just think the SEC makes the most sense to regulate the exchanges. I think the CFTC can do the spot prices, so that way the spot crypto is a commodity, and then the exchange is where the security transaction takes place. I believe the SEC probably understands they still have a shot in pushing that forward in regulations and through Congress. I think the SEC probably knows it's over in terms of the crypto asset itself being the security. So I think we're likely going to end up in a place where the SEC is going to pursue cases that are more in line with where their ultimate authority is going to be. And hopefully that means they realize that the Ripple SEC case is not their best case in terms of getting any power.
So, love that take from Mikkel Markets, and really enjoy his content. And thanks to Jungle Incorporated Crypto News for sharing this. I don't know whether he's going to be right or not. He certainly doesn't know. The SEC has been very prudent in their fight against crypto, so I can't say that I'm leaning with much hope here that they're not going to appeal. But again, we'll know soon enough whether they do or not, early October. Moving on to a post here by Mr. Mann. He says by 2025, it's predicted that 40% of Australia-based payments will flow through APAC region through RippleNet, now known as Ripple Payments. And he says here, part of his post, Australian-based Airwallex will use RippleNet to process corporate payments at a highly competitive exchange rate with low transaction fees across the APAC region, through which 40% of cross-border payments are predicted to flow by 2025. Folks, we are coming very fast up on 2025 here, and 40% of cross-border payments out of Australia, that's big. Again, it seems like all arrows are pointing in the direction of a lot of things happening here for XRP, if in fact that, especially if the case in the US can get settled with the SEC. EchoX here, another great follow if you don't follow him at Echo the Truth. He posts Basel III Endgame, the final push for banking stability. This is a lengthy post, so I won't read it all for you, but he talks about the Federal Reserve just dropped some serious news. Starting October 1st, large banks must meet new individual capital requirements. These requirements are all about making sure banks have enough liquidity to weather financial storms, but there's more to the story, and it's all tied to Basel III and the Bank of International Settlements, the BIS. Basel III Endgame is a global regulatory framework that aims to strengthen bank requirements, ensuring banks have enough high-quality capital, like cash and government bonds, to cover potential losses. The BIS, the central bank of central banks, has been guiding this framework, making sure banks worldwide meet minimum liquidity standards. Why? To prevent another 2008 financial crisis. But he says the kicker, if banks fall short of these capital requirements, they face automatic restrictions on dividends and bonus payments, and worse, could trigger a loss of confidence leading to a potential bank run. So again, I won't read all of that. You can kind of get what he's saying there. Banks are going to want to get on board, right? And if they can't, we may see some banks fall to the side. We may see some mergers, whatever the case may be. But great information there shared by EchoX. And finally, Black Swan Capitalist posts. Turns out Russia's central bank, a hashtag BRICS institution, and BRICS, if I remember correctly, is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. So institution has been working with Ripple since 2018 to build a cross-border settlement system using XRP as the bridge for fiat transfers. Interesting, he goes on to say, it would seem that Project mBridge is leveraging the XRP ledger as its foundation. And he has some screenshots here that state Russian experience of blockchain digitization by central banks, financial and technology, which goes on to say, they're continuing to work in this direction. They're obviously going to start some exchanges. So they're moving forward. Russia seems to be moving forward quickly with blockchain. And it goes on to say here and mentions XRP a few times. For XRP transfers or equivalents of fiat currencies issued by each participant, the national bank, and then down further says, for determining cross rates for internal currency of Ripple XRP when deciding to use XRP in interstate settlements. So not just within Russia, but within from country to country. So again, just more evidence that Ripple continues to partner in the right places, and is being looked at, for as really a solution here. So good stuff from Black Swan Capitalists. That's what we have for today, folks. Certainly appreciate you for tuning in, and we're here to dive into the world of cryptocurrency and the new financial system. This is all a piece of that, all this information we shared today. So continue to join us as we explore the latest trends. And if you haven't already, hit that notification bell, like and subscribe to stay updated on this news. And appreciate you taking part in this. So we'll see you on the flip side.